Good morning. Currently 7:17, and we currently got Bitcoin up. Market's definitely on a push. We're seeing things move. That last day that we were kind of trading and identifying things was right before the breakout. Definitely would have been some nice plays. Now we're kind of looking at like the all-time highs in some cryptos. Bitcoin's not too far off. It's like 10 grand off all-time high. Ethereum's just a few $100. Same with Solana, XRP, 50 cents. So everything is pushing to all-time highs. All-time highs brings its own trading difficulties, but we still look at because it makes the top targets harder because all-time highs we really don't have a target. We could use Fibonacci. It's not really a tool that I use, but I know at all-time highs, that's kind of a tool to use. But it makes trading slightly more difficult. That's why day trading is not too bad because you can kind of, you're only in the trade for a day. Like I was having a thought, I wouldn't necessarily want to do an overnight trade, something more or less with like 40 grand on a position. Because I've seen nights do anything. I mean, look, if we went to bed last night, you know, you're down quite a bit. You know, just overnight you're down 10%. So, that just leads me to the thought of like getting into your positions between, anytime between 7 and 11, but you're out by noon. You're out by 11. Even if you enter in at 8:30, you're only in it for the momentum, and that's why we use kill zones. All right, like that's what I was talking about, and that's those trading zones. Is because that's when there's the highest momentum, so you'll get those moves where we can make our quicker. We'll get those moves that we're looking for. We'll collect our profit and wait for the next day. Sure, we may get more movement during the middle of the day. Sure, we may get some moves at night. But we want to make the most accurate day trades. We're going to do it during our kill zones. Okay? All right, so we currently have Bitcoin up. I'm going to run through Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. I'll try to do it a little quicker. It doesn't take too long. All right, so we're just going back to our week real quick. Is the weekly time frame on Bitcoin. Okay, this was last week. I was kind of last week I was thinking it would be bullish. My first target was previous week all-time high. We've blown through that. This end of the week is still giving me a bullish feel. We got pretty good push off. It's a lot of pressure, so I'd still be bullish today and potentially into next week. Just looking now, yes, we have some catalysts next week. But right now, it looks like the market is setting up to get positive news. The market is predicting we're going to get a rate cut, and then we're just going to see this push. If we don't, we're going to see a retracement. It could be a deep retracement. We can come down as a little bit of just as far as here, or even into the, but yeah, see, even into this, I mean, yeah, we could see slight retracement back into these levels. But it's looking like a bullish catalyst right here. We drop down to the daily. Past few days, right here is Monday, the 1st. That's last week. Where's Monday? So this was Monday of this week. More bullish, but we're getting some rejection on the daily. So it does show slight slowdown. For today, am I still bullish? This was a bull. After this day, I would have been bullish. After this day, I still would have been bullish. Today, could be a bearish day. It's also Friday, collecting profits. So I don't know if I'm bullish for today. Today may feel more bearish. There's news coming out at what time? 10 o'clock. So, it's 7:30 a.m. So, been bullish all week. Even last week, let's say like last week, let's just go over it. This was Monday. This was then Sunday. Okay, so like we got a bearish like end of the week. Boom, 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 boom. This Monday, I would have been. That's why I always let the Monday candle print. You know, it kind of showed no decision, and then you would have waited for the open. Tuesday would have pushed pretty good, and then you'd be bearish, but bullish. But we kind of had some kind of sideways trading, and then we had some nice push this week. So yeah, overall bias for today, I feel bullish, but a part of me, you know, is because of this rejection is starting to feel bearish for today. Drop down to the 4 hour. Okay. Decent pullback last few hours. Rejection. This is a rejection block. Rejection block is where you have both candles with a wick kind of right at the same level. I like to see more wick on here to kind of be a rejection block, but this could be a zone, you know, for some rejection. Good rejection. It's kind of like some resistance for right now. We got this order block right here. That's kind of on the 4 hour chart. Price could retrace into here on the 4 hour. Drop down to the 1 hour. You got this fair value gap that we're filling right now. So we got this fair value gap on the 1 hour. We're kind of coming into, starting to get some rejection. We could push up from here. Let me go back to the 4 hour really quick. Yeah, I mean, the gap is still on a, would have still been a 4 hour gap too. So we got this 4 hour gap that we're starting to get some rejection from. On the 4 hour, you can see we are reacting to this area. You can see it again on the 1 hour. Drop down to the 30-minute. Okay. London took Asia. New York took London. See, like when you see a manipulation here, just for yesterday, let's drop down to the 15 really quick. New York opened, slightly pushed down. When it pushes down, you know it's going to go up. This is a fake out. Then there was news around this time. Yeah, 8:30 news yesterday. Market pushed up, news came out, market dumped. That's why you wait for the news. You would have traded before, would have got caught in this bullish momentum. News would have came out, you would have got tanked. So we waited for the news. News came out. You wait for about an hour after news. You'd be at kind of at the bottom. Here's 9 o'clock, and you would have traded. You know, you would have suspected a swing up. Market swung down to push up higher. You swing down so you could tag your sell order. They could your big companies, your big buys, your big money, your smart money is tagging these sells with their buy orders. So with those heavy sells, you know we're going to get the heavy buys on the institutional side. Boom, push the market up. First target would have been like intraday highs. Could have sold right at intraday high. This would have been a good trade. And then you're out. You know, you're out by 10 o'clock. You trade the news. You're in by 9, an hour after the news. You trade the intraday highs. Would have been a good trade. And then trade sideways for the rest of the day. This is Asia's the last highs. Asia's opened. Pushed the market way up. Continuation. Yeah, just some push. London breaks Asia, breaks their lows right now. New York's starting to push up. We may see a push up around here before we break lower, before we push up. Could be a pattern. We gotta see what New York starts to do. Starting to look a little bearish. I don't know. We may see a push up from here to maybe take these highs. There's a lot of liquidity in here. We may take these highs and then fall back down. Kind of makes sense. It's Friday, so we may see a retracement. No, I don't really like going to the 5 minute. Let's say it's 15 minute. So would be my target right now. We're definitely seeing some inflow right now. Bitcoin. Good push, good little push. We may see this take London's highs and fall back down. There's not much pattern going on here right now. It's got a down, sell off, trading sideways, and now we're getting some momentum. So, and we got news at I think 10, right? 10. So we're gonna kind of be all over the place until the news. News comes out at 10. Wait about a half hour to an hour after news, see where we're going, and there could be a quick trade. Because the news is at 10, we may be able to do 8:30. We watch the market for the next hour. We see where we go. 8:30 market open. We could see what direction New York chooses. We may have some structure by then. So that would be the next one. I'm going to stop this video here and